Hey Watch World, this is Brandon again. Hey, I'm going to do a quick review on these 5 watches for smaller wrists. I think, a lot of the guys have, wrists that's not 8 inches. So my wrist is 6 3/4. So this is going to be a good between 6 and just a hair over 7-inch wrist. These watches are great. Good quality. I've had them for a while, so I know, I've been wearing these guys for a while. So first of all, I want to show you the Invicta. So now I've got the Invicta here just for size reference for you. So this is a great starter watch. You can get this thing on Amazon for like 85 bucks. So really a good starter watch. If you want to get into the watch game, you really don't know, just get one of these, start with it, man. Feel the weight, feel the automatic movement of it. The build is good. They've been building them a long time, so I think they've got it down. I've never had any problems with this watch. It's got a Seiko NH35 in it. You see it back there beating pretty good. Sorry about the smudges and them being dirty, but I wear these watches, so they're worn. Now this is not the band that comes with it. This band here is a Watch Geckota, or Watch Gecko, sorry. Watch Gecko watch band. They're 20 millimeter lugs on this. So you can do all kinds of bands. If you're a smaller wrist guy, you really want to do a 20 millimeter strap. Because when you go 22, it's hard to find the shorter links. You find these big ones and you go to the very last hole, and then, or you have to punch one, and it's nuts. So this one for starters, Invicta. The only thing I don't like about this watch is that big giant Invicta on the side. But when you're wearing it on the wrist, you really don't see it because your cuffs kind of cover that up. But it's a great watch. Let's see it. I'm going to put it on my wrist so you can see it. I've had this watch a long time. This watch kind of got me in the game. It still looks great. I'm surprised the crystal is not scratched either. Now, most of these bands I've got are fairly new. I got an order from Watch Geckota, or Watch Gecko, sorry, I keep calling it Geckota. Geckota is their watch brand. So if you purchase a watch from Watch Gecko, it's actually a Geckota watch. So that's why I keep getting it confused. But just I'll jump to the end. I'll jump to this guy. Speaking of Watch Dakota, this right here is my newest purchase. This is a quartz watch, but you can see the grain inside the dial, and it's blue, but it changes colors in the sun. So I've got a little bit of sun behind me, so you can see it kind of goes gold and green and gray and blue. Really good lume on this watch. It's really surprised me how much. I think I bought this thing for about 280 bucks, I guess. There it's number 28 of 50 pieces. So they're only making 50 of these pieces. So if you want one, you might as well go grab one quick. They're not super expensive, so easy to see this this little gold tip on it is a screw-in crown, so it'll pop out. I think it's 100 meters water resistant, but it is a quartz. See right down there it says England. But notice on the indices are raised, and you can see on that outer ring right around there, it's actually lower, so you've got some depth to it. I don't know if you can pick it up with the camera, but really pretty watch. This watch right here, I believe it's about 46 lug to lug. Sorry about the smudges. 46 lug to lug. This is 39 from here to here. So 39, very small watch, but super, super thin. I think it's 11 millimeters thin. Look at this sapphire crystal. It is a sapphire crystal. It is beautiful. They put a lot of work in their watches. I was gonna get an automatic. They make one of these that's a little larger, but I wanted the smaller. I really wanted to try this, and I wasn't for sure that I was gonna like the having no second hand on this. But you know, I really, really like it. If you watch that minute hand, you can watch that minute hand just barely, barely move. It's kind of nice. But if I'm gonna go with a quartz, it's either gonna be a mecha quartz or it's gonna be a two-hand like this now. So this is another band from Watch Gecko. This is not the band that came on this watch, but tell you, this guy right here, this is the band that came on this watch. This band is amazing. This band right here, it's a 20, came on this watch. I got this one too, and I really like this little more orangey color on this, but really and truly, either one of them look really, really good. This is a great band. If you buy this watch, you don't have to get another band because this band's great. It's thick, but it's fairly soft, and it contours to the wrist pretty quick. So this is a Swiss quartz in this watch. So 46 lug to lug, 11 depth, and 39 millimeters. Great size watch. Now, this little guy I've got right next to it here. This right here is a Seiko 5. I don't remember the number. Let me see. Okay, it's I'm sorry. It's an SNX 573K. Okay, you can get this on Amazon for 129 bucks. Okay, this is a Seiko 5. If you don't have a Seiko 5 and you're in the watch game or trying to get in the watch game, buy a Seiko 5. I mean, it is what it is. You've got date on there. You've got applied indices on there. Automatic movement. This little guy does not have hacking and hand winding. The Invicta does. This has hacking hand winding. And what that means is you can pull the crown out. When you pull the crown out, the second hand stops, so you can set it precisely. This does not. And on the Invicta, you can wind, when you have hand wind, you can wind the crown and it will charge the watch. This one, you have to shake to wind it. You have to shake that little rotor to get it going. But if if you're just starting off or you want something, want an automatic, it's really nice. You just pick it up and shake it a little bit and it'll go. I think there's probably close to 40-hour power reserve on it. But this watch, this is a must-have. It's 37 millimeters wide. It's 42 tip to tip. So tip to tip, 42 millimeters, and it's 11.5 deep. It does, or thick, 11.5 thick. This right here on this particular case, this part right here does sit under the lugs, so it rises up. It rises up on that wrist a little bit, and you get a little bit of gap, and it doesn't bother me. Some people say that it does bother them, but you see the space between here? That's most people, some people it bothers, but you can tell it's perfect size watch for 6 3/4 inch wrist. It's beautiful watch. I'd highly recommend to start with something like this because of price wise. Great watch. Now, this little guy next to it, this is the Orient Bambino. Been around for a long time. Orient, I guess Seiko owns a part of Orient. Now Orient makes its own in-house movements. So this movement in here isn't in-house by Orient. They build their own movements, they build their own watches. Obviously, a Japanese manufacturer. Great watch. Just look at that crystal on there. It's not sapphire, but it is a beautiful crystal on this watch. It you can watch the indices on here, and they'll kind of bend. The hand will bend. See if I can get in the picture. You see the little tip of the second hand looks like it's bent. It's not. It's that case. That case is just really, really pretty. It's really pretty on the wrist. Now, this watch is a little bigger than all these other watches. This is 40 millimeter, 40 and a half, so 40.5 from here to here. So it wears a little bigger. But the lug to lug is 46. So lug to lug on this is 46. So still, you're going to be able to wear it very, very good. I think it's about 11 and a half thick. So with that big old glass, but put it on my wrist so you can see. It's gonna be a larger, but it's gonna be like a dress watch, but you can dress it up, dress it down. Let's see, I typically wear it right about there. Beautiful watch. This is also not the band that came with this watch. It comes with a black leather. It's good, but like I said, it's just a little too big. It seems like this is a Hadley Roma, which I would strongly recommend this Hadley Roma to anybody that's got shorter or thinner wrists, basically. They're not huge. They're not a 120 by 80 millimeter. I think they're a 115 by 75. So I usually have the third hole, and it fits perfect. But you can compare the sizes to these two. You can see how much size-wise they look. This one has a lot more wrist presence, but this is more that vintage Rolex look on it. And the lume on this watch is awesome. I mean, I couldn't believe the lume on the watch on the right here, this Seiko. Orient doesn't have any. So if you want lume, don't buy this because it does not have any. But I think this is something that you need in your collection for sure, is this Bambino. It's just a great watch. It keeps great time. I think it's like 4 or 5 seconds fast. This little guy, time not so much. I think it's probably 30 seconds fast, 25, 30 seconds fast. But it's been around a long time. It's just really neat to have. This is a newer acquire for me. I am completely in love with this watch. I don't know how. I don't know. I did a review for it the other day, and I just really like it. It has this. It's just the look. I don't know. It fits perfect on the wrist. You see, that's not a sapphire crystal as well. But you can see the crystal on there. It's really nice. You can notice in there the indices and everything going on in there. It looks complicated, but it's not as complicated as it looks. It reads easy. It's 39 millimeter watch. It's 48 tip to tip. So 48 from here to here, it's 48 millimeters, which that's probably gonna be one of the larger size for small wrists like that, anything under 7. That 48 is gonna be your sweet spot, okay? You don't wanna go much wider than that. When you start dipping in the 50 plus, it's no good. I mean, it just doesn't work. It hangs over your wrist, it makes it look big and gaudy. It's just not right. But this little guy, you can see how it curves down. The lugs look long, but they're really not that long. They curve down like that, and it wraps around your wrist really, really, really right. Now this dial, when I ordered it, it's blue, but it really is kind of a gray black color, so it'll go from blue to gray to black. But these two, instead of being like, this is a reverse panda, but instead of being circles, they have these little odd, kind of an oblong shape on either side, and I really, really like it. it's just different than everything. I get a lot of comments on this watch. It does have a signed crown. This guy, I told you, 48 tip to tip, 39 across here, and then it's, I want to say it's 11 millimeters thick. Don't quote me on that, but that's pretty close. Great watch. Great band as well. This band right here came from watch Gecko too. So you've got this band, this strap, and this band, and this band all came from watch Geckota or watch Gecko. Strongly recommend them because these are smaller. They have some that are smaller, and what you want to do is you want to stay in that 115 to let's see, 115 to 75, anything like that. 110 to 70 is going to be probably about as small, unless you've got a, you know, close to 6 or under 6. But I think these straps are going to be kind of the way to go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to zoom in on these things and get you kind of look on there. And, you know, guys, I just kind of started doing reviews, so I'm just trying to get you the information about these watches, and any kind of input that you've got for me. You know, I'd love to know it. My problem is I don't know what kind of cameras to buy. I don't know what kind of stuff. I really want to start doing this, but I don't know if I'm worth the credit or not. So I need some input. Give me some input. These watches here, great. If you've got a 7 or under, let's say between 6 and 7 inch wrist, these are your watches, man. Starters. You can, sky's the limit. I'll kind of pan up a little bit here, and I can see these guys are other options. That is the this guy over here. That's the Seiko SKX 007. This is another Seiko 5 here that I really do like. And this Seiko 5 is the same size as that Seiko 5 I showed you earlier. So you can see the difference between the SKX and that Seiko 5, you know, wrist presence. But this SKX is 43 millimeters. Lug to lug is fairly short. I think it's only like 47. So lug to lug is short on there. This is the Orient Mako. Strongly recommend this watch. Lugs turned down, beautiful watch. And this watch here is probably the most underrated watch. No videos, no nothing on this watch. I don't understand why. This watch has been a great watch for me. It's probably 2 seconds fast. Very, very accurate. It's a Tissot. It's got the Parametric 80 movement in there. It came with that strap that's laying right underneath it. This little strap here is amazing. It's just a little big. It's bulky for the watch. I wish they would have done a little less bulky for this particular watch, but the strap that's on that watch is pretty awesome. It's 40 millimeter and it's a 47 lug to lug, so it's gonna stay in with these other guys. I'll take it off real quick and let you see the difference between that guy and the ones down on the table that I just reviewed for you. This little guy, is a lot more expensive. I think this guy was about around $700 mark, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I think it's worth every penny of that. And if I was trying to get in the watch game and I didn't want to try to go online and find all these watches and all this stuff, and you can find the Tissots, you can find them at the malls. So there's the Parametric 80. And I think the Parametric 80 is a 28-24 that just has, you can see it ticking away there. It doesn't have a way to regulate it, but it's regulated by a laser, I think by a laser in-house. So, but I love everything about this watch. You see the size. Any one of these are going to work for you. So guys, there you go. Thanks for watching again. Just throw in the comments if I should change stuff or what I should talk about or the camera or whatever in the world I need to show you guys. Just let me know. Thanks again.